Hello everybody, welcome back to another Geomatics Yukon production. Today we're going to be talking about Vertisee, which is a LiDAR and elevation discovery application. If you're interested in LiDAR or elevation data, stick around to find out more. So I'm going to first discuss what Vertisee is and the kind of data you can find on it. We'll then talk about the map tools, which are tools used to navigate the application. I'll give a quick little demo. I'll also talk about some of the widgets and tools that are available on Vertisee, and I'll also do a demo of that. Then we will discuss how to download data, and I'll demonstrate that as well. Should be a fairly quick one. Yeah, enjoy it. So what is Vertisee? For those of you that don't know, it's a public data discovery platform, very similar to GeoYukon, but also totally different. It contains only LiDAR or elevation data, and all of this is licensed to the Yukon government and to the public. It's the most current elevation data that we have for the entire Yukon, and it's up to date with even the elevation data that we purchased at the end of 2020. It's the best place to start looking for Yukon elevation data, and I should also mention that it's maintained by McElhaney Surveys. So if you want to follow along, feel free. Open up a browser such as Google Chrome or Firefox and type in that address. You can either type it into the search bar or at the top of the page. Yeah. So map tools. It's important to know about different map tools because that's going to help you navigate around the map. So some of the tools include, there's a zoom tool, which is self-explanatory. It's for zooming in and out of areas. There's an elevation profile tool, which allows you to view the low and high point of a line or polygon. You can find your current position. There's a measurement tool, again, self-explanatory. You can measure areas or distances. There's a place to put in coordinates, and that allows you to go directly to a place on the map where you know the coordinates, but maybe you can't find it. You can choose what kind of base map you want. That's just for visualization. It's just for how you like to see the application. And then there's an information tab, which displays and describes all the widgets. So if you kind of get a little lost, it's a good tab. It's a good tool to explore because it explains what the widgets are used for. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick demo of the map tools. Okay, so when you enter in that web address or search for it on Google, this is what you'll be greeted with. This is sort of the default welcome page. So to zoom in and out, you can use your mouse wheel, or you can also use these buttons in the top left, plus to zoom in, minus to zoom out. If you get mixed up and you're somewhere and you get lost, you can click on this little home icon and it'll take you back to the welcome page there. This is the My Location tool. The first time you use it, a little pop-up box will come up in the top left corner and you have to allow it to view your location. You can go to full screen mode, which just removes the browser toolbars, and you can go back to previous extents. If you zoom in somewhere and you want to go back here. And again, much like GeoYukon, if things get mixed up and you get lost, best thing to do is just reload the page. Just let it do its thing and it'll take you right back to this welcome screen. So in the top right, these are some of the widgets and tools that are available. This information one is very handy and it'll by default pop up and it tells you what the other ones do. If you're trying to do something and you don't know which one of these tools to use, just go down here and it'll tell you what these buttons do here. This is the layers tab. I'll talk about that in the next segment. This is add data. I'll also talk about that in the next segment. This is the legend. Right now we only have tile or full feature and bare earth displayed. So yeah, the yellow is bare earth, which is it'll just be the terrain or the surface of the earth. So you're not going to get vegetation or buildings or anything like that. It'll just be the last return. Whereas the full feature in the red, you're going to get human-made structures and vegetation foliage. So if you want to do any sort of calculating canopy height, you're going to need the full feature as opposed to bare earth. This is the measurement tool. If you're just looking for a quick and easy way to measure an area or a distance, you can do that. It's useful for deciding how big of an area you want to download. Right now, the maximum area that you can download from Vertisee is 10 square kilometers. If you're looking for a larger area, you will have to go through Geomatics Yukon, and the process just takes a little bit longer because then the data has to be manually downloaded and distributed on our end. So let's say 10 square kilometers, we're looking for something in Mayo, and I'm curious how big of an area it's going to be. I'm kind of looking for maybe something along the lines of something like this. I just want to see, okay, can I actually get this from the website? And to finish your drawing, double click, and it's 6.15 square kilometers, so we're good. So we'll be able to download this directly from the site. We won't have to go through me. And yeah, the distance tool, again, there's various measurements. Same thing, left click, double left click to end. Yeah. So the coordinates, if you have a coordinate and you want to zoom into it, you just have to know the coordinate system that it's in. Decimal degrees, that's your latitude, longitude, and then these are the various projected coordinate systems that are used in the Yukon. This is the filter tool, but I'll talk about that again in the next demo. There's a Google Street View option. These are your base maps. Again, this is just the stuff that's displayed kind of behind the scenes. It's more for visualization than anything else. It's just how you like to view the map. So again, up to you. This is the download data button up here. The next one with the little arrow going down. We'll talk about that again later. And the last tool that I did want to demonstrate right now is the elevation profile. I think it's pretty cool. If you're wondering how or what the elevation is of an area or a line, so we'll do 2019 bare earth. So we're just going to get the terrain. We're not going to get any of the canopy, and we'll just draw a short line here because it does take a little while to load. Okay, and we'll go across the Alaska Highway, double click to end, and here's your elevation profile of that line. So you can see over here on the west side it starts at 722 meters, which makes sense. It's steep on the west side of the highway there, and then as you can see, as we get closer to the highway, it starts dropping down, and then on the other side, it's yeah, 693. And it tells you the difference in elevation from beginning to end. So yeah, you might have different uses for this. Up to you how you want to interact with this application. Right, so now I'm going to talk about the other tools and widgets. I breezed over them in the last demonstration. We'll get a little more deeper into what those do. So again, they're at the top right of the screen. And as I mentioned, there's full feature and bare earth available for download from Vertisee. You can use the Add Data tab to import spatial data such as shapefiles, CSVs, or Google Earth KML files. I'll demonstrate that. And this data can be overlaid to determine if you have coverage for your area of interest, or AOI. Get more into the layers as well in the next demonstration. They can be turned on and off at the top of the screen, so if you only want to see bare earth, or if you want to see full feature, those could be toggled on and off. And again, I must state that only elevation data can be downloaded from Vertisee. If you're looking for other data sets, I recommend going to Yukon. There's a lot more data available on Yukon. And yeah, areas of interest can be imported and overlaid on the layers, and it can help you identify if there's data available, basically. The filter tool or widget can be used to turn on and off data for certain years. If you're looking for more recent stuff, we recently acquired quite a bit of data at the end of 2021, or pardon me, 2020. And so if you're just looking for 2020 data, or say you're looking for 2019, you can do that by using the filter tool. Yeah, I'm going to demonstrate now how to use these other tools and to interact with the data. So we'll talk about the layers tool, the import area of interest, and we'll do a filtering by acquisition year. Okay, so here we are back at Vertisee, the main greeting page. We'll get into the layers here, which is this green 3 squares looking button here. So you can turn on the full feature bare earth UTM zones, which can help if you're wondering what coordinate system this data is in. If you zoom in a bit more here, you can eventually start to see other options appear. You can't turn them on when you're zoomed all the way out because of scaling. It just wouldn't be good for the performance. So we'll go over CarMax here, and we'll turn on a slope. So this is what a slope layer looks like, and as you can see, it's only for areas that have been collected. There's still quite a bit of the Yukon that we haven't flown LiDAR for. There is ways to get data for this area. I think the best source would be the Arctic DEM, and if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out to geomatics.help@yukon.ca. There's also ortho photos, and those can be requested from geomatics.help. There's hillshade as well. You can get that for bare earth or for full feature. What's displaying right now is the bare earth. So again, this is the terrain that exists underneath of the vegetation and human-made features. the next demonstration I want to do is importing an area of interest. So we'll just go ahead and refresh the page, start from scratch. This is really handy for, as I previously mentioned, if you're wondering if we have data and you think we might, but you don't know 100%. It's always good to make a shapefile or a KML, and I've gone ahead and done that. And in this is a zip file, and in this make sure you have all your supporting files, so the SHX and the SBX and the projection file. Zip them all up, put them in a folder, go up to the top right in the screen here, and there's this plus with a looks like a piece of paper. It's add data. It's this guy right here. So we'll go ahead and open that guy up, and it's as simple as dragging and dropping the zip, and there you go. So that's the area of interest. We're interested in a little section here to the east of Riverdale, and it looks like there is data available. So now what if we're not interested in older data? You can click on these individual tiles and it will tell you the year it was acquired, along with the projection, vertical datum, so on and so forth. And there's metadata. You can go ahead and open that up. So if you just want to download the individual tile too, you can see you can download right from here. I'll show you in the next demonstration a couple different ways how to get this data, but yeah, I guess I just wanted to show how to import the shapefile. And the next, the last tool for this demonstration wanted to show is this filter tool right up here. So we can query and only show what data is available for select year. So we'll go ahead and turn on Bare Earth, and let's see if there's any 2020 data available. And there's not. So it's important to remember this is just a hillshade. This was generated probably using some other year worth of data. It can be confusing, so you can go ahead and turn this layer off if you want. As you can see, there's no data for the year 2020. Why don't we try 2018? Okay, nothing was acquired in 2018 for this area either. We try 2019. Ah, there we go. So we have data for 2019, and you can go through all the years. Maybe there's another year that it was purchased. Right now, what we're trying to do is get as most coverage as possible. So we don't often repurchase unless it's for a specific project, these areas. So if it's been collected, it won't be recollected unless requested by an individual department. So as you can see, we have data for AOI for 2019. All right, the last section I have for you today, and potentially the most important section, is downloading data. You know, it's nice to be able to view it and to interact with it, but ultimately I imagine a lot of you are mainly interested in this because you want to download data. So you can select and download data if you add your specific area of interest to the map. We're going to explore how to use the download data button and the kind of products you can download. Options include LiDAR. You can download the raw LAS, and if you know how to manipulate it, or if you want a specific return, that's probably the product that I would recommend. Or you can get the application to generate the product that you want, such as a hillshade, an aspect, a slope, or you can get the Bare Earth as well.
You'll also want to choose if you want bare earth or full feature, and then you're going to have to choose if you want LAS or LAZ, which is just a compressed version of LAS. And I had mentioned this previous. It's the maximum size you can download right now, and we're working on getting it increased to 20 square kilometers, but the maximum right now is 10 square kilometers. So if you want anything larger than that, there's a little button, and it will essentially just send an email to geomatics.help, and someone will get you the files that you need. Right, it's the last demonstration. I'm going to demonstrate how to download data from Vertisee. All right, so downloading data. So now that we've established our area of interest, and we've established that there is bare earth data available for 2019, you can go ahead and click this little green arrow button at the top right and download some data. First, we want to draw our area of interest, and again, we can measure this to make sure that it's within the 10 square kilometers. We'll just go ahead and do that. And yeah, that's well within the 10 square kilometers. So a separate request won't need to be made to download data from this area, which is good. So we'll go back to the download data button, and we're going to click this draw area of interest, or AOI, and roughly trace the area of interest that we want. There is no clipping feature right now, but we're working on developing something in the future, so you won't actually have to draw this area of interest, but yeah, just double click when you're done, and you're going to want to enter your email. Whatever your email is, and we're going to choose our product. And again, it's really up to you. Depends what you're looking to do. LiDAR is great because you can use LiDAR to create any of these other products. And again, we have the option of bare earth, or I believe we have full feature in this area as well. Some areas may not have the option of both, so it's just always good to check by turning the layers on and off. And you can get the compressed, which is LAZ, or the raw uncompressed, which is LAS, and then call it whatever you want. And submit it. So when you hit submit, another pop-up will come up, and it will say the request has been submitted, and allow up to 3 hours for an email to come. So there's a script running in the background that when you hit submit, the application itself, as far as I understand, goes through and has to create it for you. And LiDAR is huge. It takes a while. So just be patient. I've tested this quite a few times, and I always get an email. So if you don't get it right away, or if it's taking a few hours, just wait, and it will eventually show up. I'm not going to do this. I've already submitted and downloaded some data for this area. You can also, you can go ahead and reset. Obviously, it's an obvious thing. And if the area is larger than 10 square kilometers, go ahead and click this large area of interest button. It doesn't want to work. But essentially all that will do is it will trigger an email to be sent to us at Geomatics Yukon,
and we will get the shapefile, and we will be in touch with getting you your data. I do stress, don't request more data than you need. These are large data sets, and they are kind of tricky to get zipped up and delivered. So the delivery time will be a little longer than, say, if you go through the software. But you know what? If you do need a large area, we can get it to you. So I guess that pretty much concludes the video for Vertisee. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking around. You can always go to yukon.ca/maps for the latest information about geomatics and Yukon spatial data. There's also a GeoYukon user manual. If you're interested in getting this presentation, or if you have any questions related to GeoYukon spatial data, anything GIS, geomatics related, LiDAR elevation, feel free to drop us an email at geomatics.help@yukon.ca. Thanks for watching.